Last week, Josh Darnell usurped Matthew Lindy as the Maryland driver snuck a victory away from the kid from California, ending his winning streak in the process. In Supercars, Evan McFarland snuck away as Kieran Lifflander ran into issues, and we transition back to dirt this evening as the Velocity Pixels Endurance Cup concludes. The Crandon Grand Prix is next. Our venue for this evening is the virtual Crandon International Raceway. Opened in 1970, North American Simulated Auto Racing started visiting this circuit in 2020B. 1 mile in length with 4 turns, 1 to the right and 3 to the left, there is plenty of room to play here in Wisconsin, and the most important key to being fast here is avoiding wheel spin and avoiding getting sucked into the various ruts cut into the dirt by our Rallycross supercars. We have seen some of the most incredible racing around this venue, and we hope tonight is no different. In NASA Rallycross, our format is as follows. We are finishing open practice now, which leads us into a 3-lap single-car qualifying that splits the field equally into 5-lap heat races. The top 2 will transfer to the feature automatically. The winner will get 3 bonus points, and the runner-up gets 2. The rest of our drivers are sent to the semifinals, also 5 laps. The top 2 will transfer to the feature, and the winner will receive a bonus point. This will set the grid for our 10-lap feature race where the points are awarded and trophies are handed out. And like last week with the Velocity Pixels Endurance Cup concluding tonight, there are no joker laps. The 30th season of the NASA Rallycross Challenge continues tonight live on the Automotive Sports Network. With Bryan Sawyer next to me in the commentary box and in the production truck doing double duty yet again, my name is Josh Mertz as we welcome you to the 6th running of the Crandon Grand Prix. The NASA Rallycross Challenge is brought to you by Overwatch Specialty Service. The only thing more unique than your problem is our solution. For more information, visit osscenter.com. Thank you, Rob Hartland, for your continued support of NASA Sim Racing. NASA Rallycross Contenders is presented by the Virtual Gaming Alliance. Don't be a real dork, be a virtual one. Shop now at vrtl-alliance.square.site. Thank you, Dylan Thomas, for your support as presenting sponsor of NASA Rallycross Contenders. Cameras all season on ASN, also brought to you by Whiplash Sim Cams. Be sure to check them out at facebook.com/whiplashmedia. Thank you, Andrew Cardinale IV, for your camera support. And finally, the intro music for the NASA World feed produced by our very own Alex Abedi. Bryan, last week it was all asphalt in Charlotte, and yes, I know Evan McFarland, he snuck away from Kieran. He didn't win. It was Francois. That's irrelevant. This week, all dirt. Of course, you fared very well last night. I want to hear your thoughts on the jumpy truck tracks as part of the Rallycross schedule.
I was going to say, Josh, you missed newly minted endurance champion, Bryan Sawyer, in the booth next to you. These tracks, they're a lot of fun. They're a lot more fun than the pavement tracks, in my opinion. You get a little more slidey. It's a little more close to what Rallycross is, in my opinion, than the off-roads, but I understand why we do them both. A lot of opportunity for passing here. Real wide track. Lots of fun can happen. Looking forward to it.
Numerous things have happened. We've had crazy winners. Of course, we'll go over those later on in the show, but it has been some crazy racing here on the short layout of Crandon. Last season, we ran the long layout. I remember I think it was the Vortex race that you and I took part in with our respective teams, and that was an hour-long race, and the Beetle Lights at this track. It's just such a wonderful venue here in Wisconsin. Excuse me there. So let's take a look at points coming in to round number 8 in Crandon, and Matthew Lindy looking very, very, very good to lock up the championship 2 weeks early. The max you can score is 28 and 28 off the top of my head. I think that's 56. Could be wrong there.
Yeah,
but Josh
I think he can lock it up tonight, right?
Yes, so if he holds more than 56, leaving Crandon, which no disrespect to anybody else on this list, but if Lindy's track record with winning is continued, he's going to lock up the championship early. Josh Darnell got ahead of Jess Rakowski last week after his win in Charlotte. Matty Morris, Matty Grove, Wetz, Robichaud, Boyles, Dubois, Sowers, the top 10. From the team's championship, I would say much closer. As we pull that one up, Slapex Racing Ford, something's broken, so we'll just, we'll do it audibly until now. But Slapex Ford, powered by TWRS, 192, KES, 191. Now keep in mind, KES is Lindy by himself. Slapex Ford is 3 guys. So that championship getting good. JC Simsport Jr., Slapex Subaru, TWR Fiesta Siesta. We take down the order there. And the Manufacturers Championship, Subaru 191, Ford 152, and Volkswagen with 39. So bunch of things to play for as we head to qualifying. Like I said, 3 laps. No jokers here in Crandon. And the name of the game here, I learned very, very late in practice, is pay attention to your car, pay attention to the audio. You don't want any dirt being rustled from your tires. You want to stay as clean as you can here on track. So we begin qualifying. Eric Kaplinger, the first car on track for Move Over at Speedy Time, making their debut in NASA Rallycross Contenders. Good to see the man from Illinois in the 277. Bryan and I were talking off air before we came on air, and he said, yeah, Eric was going to run in Charlotte, ran 2 laps, and said, I'm just going to run Crandon. So hopefully we might see Kaplinger more often in the Subaru as he begins his run. Ed Boyles behind him. Darnell is right behind Kaplinger, so we'll stay with Kaplinger in the 277. Over the jump out of turn 1. Turn 2, so tricky to get right in these cars or in the Beetle lights, maintaining some sort of no dirt flying, and multi-lane down to turn number 3. Second, third, fourth, fifth gear in the Subaru, just maintaining no wheel spin, utilizing the torque. Over the jump, we saw Romain Rateau get stuck in a semifinal in 2023A from the points lead, crashed, and lost the title. That's how important these tracks are. Kaplinger sets the benchmark, 42.263. Darnell, 42.999 as the times begin to roll in. Boyles, 43.4. Vinny Sowers in the 365 will be next up, making his return after a week off. Crossing the line. It did not count him. Morris crosses the line, I believe, to begin his run. Jake Robichaud, 42.4. Grove begins his run. Ali Rateau, 44.8. And Matthew Lindy, our points leader, with the blue plate. Over the jump, what will he do in car number 3? 41.6. And that is 0.6 faster than Kaplinger, Bryan.
Yeah, looks like Lindy's hitting the track just right. Turns 1 and I don't know their actual turn numbers. I just know skybox jump and turn 1. You gotta.
This is turn 2, if that helps you.
Well, I know. I just know them by their loggers jump, skybox, and gravel pit. But I know them by what the truck guys call them. Yeah, going into a lot of these turns, you don't want to treat them like turns. You want to get that car rotated as soon as you can and just get it driving straight out instead of driving in a turn. You want to get it around and get those wheels moving forward so you can get less dirt spin, less slide, more speed.
Beginning his third lap is Lindy in car number 3. You want to run very wide in the final corner. Jess Rakowski improves, 42.6 for the driver from Maryland. And
hey, we got Jake Robichaud in third.
Darnell, 42.4 for the elder Robichaud. And we look at, I was going to try and find Josh Darnell because he's done with his run. He's down at 6th for last week's winner. And it's important to mention that because these 2 races, of course, scored together with the Endurance Cup and with Lindy doing well. And I think he clipped the barrier. That's going to invalidate his lap. I don't think nobody else is on a run. So that ends qualifying a little bit prematurely here.
I think Grove's on his last lap. It's got him on lap 3 for me here.
Let's pick him up in the 472, former series champion in 2023B in the 472 for Slapex Ford. And Matty Morris actually on his final lap as well. So we'll try and pick up Morris, who's right in front of Grove in the 24. Final corner for the man from Illinois. What will he do? It did not count his lap. Grove will cross the line. Didn't count his lap either. So I believe that is qualifying done and dusted, but we'll let these guys utilize the last couple minutes here in Crandon. A couple programming notes before we head to heat number 1, the OSRL Cup Series, round 2 at the Auto Club Speedway of Southern California. That is tomorrow, May 7th, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. You'll have Victor Valley, Ethan Halsey, and Cody Erdman, I think, for that one. The crews are subject to change on Tuesday and Thursday for now. We're just going to kind of figure it out as we go. The OSRL GT Series Round 9 at Road America in Wisconsin, Thursday, May 9th, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. I have it listed as Bryan Sawyer, Cody Erdman, Justin Robichaud for that, but again, that may be subject to change. The TWRS setups, NASA Rallycross Lights, Round 9 at Daytona, Sunday, May 12th, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Victor Valley, James Watson, Jared Lott. You guys have been rock solid all season long with that. Been doing some wonderful work there. And our penultimate round for the 30th season of the Overwatch Specialty Service NASA Rallycross Challenge, also at Daytona at the short configuration. May 13th, Monday, we go live at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, starting with Contenders, moving up to Supercars. Bryan Sawyer, Justin Robichaud will be back with me. My name is Josh Mertz in the commentary box, getting ready for that one. So, quality times right now, Bryan, as the runs are pretty much over. We're looking at, I think, Lindy, Robichaud, Morris, Dubois, Boyles, and Sawers for the first heat race. So I guess the story is, of course, while we wait for these guys, the story is going to be who's going to transfer, as Lindy will be out and away.
Yeah, it's I think we're going to have a nice battle between Jake and Matt there. They're pretty close. They were running pretty close in practice, so it's looking like it's going to be a good race.
As we begin the gridding process here in Crandon, we do have a rolling start per normal here in Crandon. Matthew Lindy, Jake Robichaud, Matty Morris, Dubois, Boyles, and Vinny Sawers. As remember, the top two will transfer into the feature race automatically, as everybody else will be sent to the semi-final. Rolling start, 50 miles an hour. You have to go on the green flag. We had an issue last season. Alex Abetti took off at the final jump when that was a definite no-no, and we had to give him a penalty, and he lost the race win. After the crazy strategy that we saw, he lost the race win. And Matthew Lindy, KES is running out of room with winter stickers on that. I don't know if you can see the side of the car pretty clearly when we're zoomed in, but they're running out of room for the kid from California. As we begin to roll, Bryan.
Yeah, we're looking like we're keeping it. Actually, they're keeping it a little faster than I would. Last night, we were keeping it about 35 going through this section and getting that little run up just at the end. I don't know what Jake is doing here. Jake is ensuring he gets his run, but he doesn't want to pass him before the line here.
Green flag for heat number one. The green is thrown by the sim after they cross the line, which is weird, and Jake Robichaud goes to the lead in the 69. Lindy in second, side by side. It's Dubois and Morris over the jump into turn number two. And the only thing that's unfortunate with Lindy, if he can't dispatch Jake Robichaud, he might get caught up in the traffic here. Boyles and Sawers in the back of the field, over the jump, down to turn number three. Numerous lines, full send, rip the handbrake, rotate the car, whatever you can. Matty Morris hits the points leader, and around he goes in the three.
Oh, wow.
Robichaud still leads. Matty Morris all over the track in the 24. Here comes Dubois in the 000. It is a Slapex 1, 2, 3, 4 at the end of the first lap. Jake Robichaud leads.
Run, Jake,
and now, Lindy going to be seeing some red mist just like I was last night. You get focused, you'll figure out your way through the traffic. It is so important here, Bryan, because like we've talked about, you don't grid 4x4, 3x3. It is a 2x2 rolling start, and he definitely doesn't want to get stuck in traffic later on.
Yeah, no, 2x2, it's real tight, real tough to get those positions back. Especially, I feel like your best chance to get positions gained is turn one, lap one. Honestly, I mean, I don't like to say it because you never want to be a bowling ball there, but that's turn one and turn three is pretty much where you're making your positions up if you're making a lot up.
Final corner, Lindy gets by Vinny Sawers in the 365, so move the points leader up to fifth. He still has, let's call it 3 laps to make something happen just to get into the top two. But if he does not, this is going to change a lot because the winner of this race will have pole position here in Crandon. Second place will be put in the 3rd spot. So that would relegate Lindy, if he can't transfer, to, at best, a 5th place starting position, and he's in 5th right now. It is already showing how difficult it is. Battle for the race lead. Robichaud powers off a turn 3 to hold the spot over Morris. Dubois in the 000 has not had a good season, the man from Maine, and he's trying to take the fight to his teammate Matty Morris. Boyles nearly gets checked by Lindy, and the other 2 Slapex cars, still Morris and Dubois, battling as we take 2 to go, Bryan.
I think Lindy's going to get in here the next lap. You just got to, if you're not making the pass in turn 1, you're making it in turn 5, and it looks like Lindy's just going to do it right here.
So you troll me all the time on live broadcast. It's impressive that you have a 5th turn on a 4-turn track. As Lindy takes the 4th spot, dives in on Dubois. He knows he's running out of time to get this transfer spot. Let's ride on board Lindy here and see what he does.
You know what it is? I made Justin a guide earlier and put 5 points of interest on the track.
So, Dubois has had issues. I tried to stay on board and not speak, but when Lindy kind of shoved him out of the way, his teammate Boyles also made that worse. As we still ride on board Lindy, he has a 2.5 to make up to Morris in 2 corners, Brian. It's going to have to be a Herculean send into these final 2 corners.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to get it. Unless Morris goes wide on the last turn and scrubs a bunch of speed, it's not going to happen. So here we got Morris being wide.
Over the final jump to the final corner. This is a complete surprise. Jake Robichaud on pole position for the Crandon Grand Prix. Morris transfers. Lindy, points leader, out to the semifinal with Boyles, Dubois, and Sawyers as well. The one race that Justin Robichaud is not next to me in the commentary box, and his Pops has a good run. Heat number 2. Eric Kaplinger, Jess Rakowski, Josh Darnell, Maddie Grove, and Olivier Ratto. 5 cars, 5 laps. Top 2 transfer. As we begin to roll here in Crandon. 2 Subarus on the front row, then it's a couple of Fords and a Ford on the back row. Kaplinger and Rakowski.
Very biased right now.
Been looking good for move over at speedy time. You can be biased all you want. I will be as well. As we get ready for Heat 2 in Wisconsin. Green flag. Off the line, Rakowski tapped the brakes to ensure she wouldn't jump the start over Kaplinger. Turn 1, way wide as Kaplinger, getting a run off the corner, over the jump, over the second jump, and now winding our way up the hill, down the hill, through turn 2, over the jump to turn 3. And these cars obviously double the power of the light yesterday, and it was already a handful to maintain those cars. I ran a couple laps in the supercar in practice with these guys, and it's tricky. With so much power, you are pointed towards the sky on most of these jumps. You have to maintain a friendly relationship with the brake pedal in the air. At the end of the first lap, Kaplinger leads ahead of Rakowski, Darnell, Grove, and Ratto. Has high-centered himself in turn 3. He's staying there, not entirely sure what is happening. We can still keep an eye on the leader. I'll try to keep an eye on him in the 63. He gets off track. So 1 car for sure to the semifinal. It's Ali Ratto. Darnell looking good in the Ford as well, Brian. Off the track, stays 1 tire on, deep into turn 3. We'll keep an eye, of course, when lap times roll in. He dived in that corner pretty well. You want to be able to pretty much straight line the exit of the corners here, like you were mentioning earlier on. Rakowski rips the handbrake into the wall. Darnell says thank you to a transfer spot. Maddie Grove moves Rakowski out of the way. How quickly things can change, like we saw in the first heat race earlier on. Kaplinger fastest of all, 42.973.
This is going to be an interesting feature if this holds. We got some of the faster drivers. Not saying that the Darnell and Jake aren't fast, but some of the historically faster drivers are going to be gridding maybe towards the end of the feature.
And with the 2x2 rolling start, it's going to be really difficult for anyone to make moves. Granted, there's a 10-lap feature. Anything can happen. We've seen crazier things. We saw the race yesterday, how crazy that was. Kaplinger takes 2 laps to go. Kaplinger has won in the NASA Rallycross Challenge. In the lights division, he won in the first season at Wild Horse, which is a lot like this. It is a truck track. Very be respectful of the eggs under the gas pedal, like I like to say. And he leads ahead of Darnell. He's 0.4 of a second up on Darnell. He's a further 0.3 of a second up on Grove, and a further 4 up on Rakowski. So full second up on Rakowski is Kaplinger in the 277. Coming to the white flag for the man from Illinois, followed by Darnell from Maryland, Grove from Pennsylvania, Rakowski from Maryland as well. Olivier Rateau is letting the field by, just trying to get all the track time he can, the Frenchman, in the 63. White flag for Kaplinger.
Oh man, Josh, that's a terrifying thing to see when you're coming through in that area. Just see a car coming out in pits. You're never sure what they're gonna do.
We saw last season Rakowski versus Erdman. Cody Erdman, former champion of the series. They came together as Rakowski had the pit in the feature at the long layout, and it's hard here because you're blind as Kaplinger goes off the track from the race lead, trying to still push hard as Darnell was up by 2/10. It's a blind exit, and a lot of these guys just driving their own races, not minding anybody else. Final corner. And on debut in a supercar in NASA, Kaplinger is going to win a heat race. The man from Illinois wins heat number 2, transferring as Darnell. Best of the rest, Grove, Rakowski, Rateau.
Hell yeah.
And I'll let you be biased for that 2 seconds, because that was an impressive run by your teammate. Now, semifinal time already. And Lindy, Grove, Boyles, Rakowski, Dubois, Rateau, Sawers. And Lindy will have pole position, but the first turn is a left-hand corner. It's very confusing here in Crandon. And we saw, with the way the green flag is given, maybe Grove will have a shot on our champion-elect, basically, I would like to say. But maybe we spoke too soon. We'll have to see over the next 5 laps in the semifinal. Remember, the top 2 will transfer through the feature.
The pace truck has to have incredible parallel parking capabilities.
I was going to say the same thing. I saw it do that in the lights race yesterday, and I got very confused. So, Grove and Lindy, front row of the grid, as we go green for the semifinal. Late green flag again, and Grove's going to take the spot, or he tried to. Shove Lindy. Lindy's way out wide. Boyles to the inside. The 3 wide with the points leader on the outside. He gets nudged! The points leader's around! Boyles is around as well! And Lindy on the outside, looking in on what could have been a championship clinching night. Wow. Grove, Rakowski, Dubois, Rateau, Boyles, Sawers, and now Lindy with a huge gap to make up. Granted, he's got the whole semifinal to do it, Bryan, but that's a huge ask to get in the top 2.
He's already it's 3 seconds back. He might be able to catch up to Sawers.
One car around in front of him is Sawers. He hits Sawers.
It's over for Lindy.
That's going to be it. Our championship leader and what could have been a championship clinching night, it's going to be out unless something chaotic happens. So we'll, of course, stay with it. Wow. So, Matty Grove leads, ahead of Rakowski, ahead of Dubois, ahead of Boyles, Rateau, Lindy, and Sawers. And what this means is if Lindy can't close this gap, not only is it going to give someone the opportunity to win this race, of course, but he's 3rd in points in supercars. If we'll go over that later on, but if he doesn't make this, that's going to hinder him as well in that championship. Grove leads, 3 laps to go. Sawers is parking. Lindy has not parked yet, but he is way out of it now. 9 seconds. Not what I expected on my bingo card.
Jess looks like she's got pace on here. Subarus are historically faster here. Is she going to be able to get around Grove cleanly?
The former series champion in 2023B. As hopefully kiddos Riley and Lane and Mama Bear Shelby watching the former champion lead the semifinal. He's had some rotten luck this season so far, as we ride on board earlier on with Jess Rakowski. 2 laps to go for Grove. Update on Dubois versus Boyles. The teammates battling for best of the rest. That would be 7th overall. Then we have Rateau and Lindy trying everything he can. And to put this into perspective, he just ran a second faster than Grove that last time around, but he's not going to have enough time. And that's what's crazy about these races, is because we saw in 23A, Romain Rateau got stuck in the back of the field in the semifinal, got sent off, hit the bollard, or the gantry there that they just passed through. He finished last with no points. Grove takes the white flag ahead of Rakowski, Dubois, Boyles, Rateau, Lindy. That running order has not changed, Brian.
Yeah, I remember that accident. That was one of the scariest ones I've seen.
So I think you were on track for that one.
I was right behind that one.
So, Grove leads, Rakowski, and just for kicks, we're going to take a look at the lap times. 43.5, 43.9, 43.8, 43.8, 42.3. A second faster again is Lindy. He is getting by Rateau, but it's going to be too little too late for the championship leader. One man's misfortune is another man's fortune, and it's going to be Matty Grove winning the semifinal ahead of Jess Rakowski. It'll be best of the rest, 7th overall for Ed Boyles, and our championship leader, 6 wins in a row, Matthew Lindy, out in the semifinal in Wisconsin. As Rateau, Dubois, and Sawyer's the remaining cars that do not transfer here in Wisconsin. So we are going to decompress and take a breath as to what we just watched on the other side of the break, the Crandon Grand Prix. Stick around.
So interesting.
I love your browser history.
I like that you're not hiding anything from me.
By the way, nice IP address. I like your neighborhood.
You are so special. This ad is just for you.
I learned so many things from you.
You are so generous.
With your personal data.
Switch on privacy, switch off trackers and viruses. Go to nordvpn.com. NordVPN. Safely be you.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Absolutely be doing what he has to do. He has to go for the championship. He has to recover the points that he lost. He's down. Takes the lead in the 12. What a move. And he takes the lead and holds
Side between these two and Terminal. This is going to get spicy.
turn one, over the jump to begin the first lap, clog at the inside line. McFarland contact between them. They are still side by side. This opens the door for Wetz. He can't make anything happen. In the 26, he has not won in quite some time. Dragster acing the entry to turn one, up heading to the inside of Magnus, gives him a nudge. The grip strip on the inside, Phil. Wetz had a little bit better run, but looks like Robbie's going to hold his power. We welcome you back to round number 172 of the championship overall and round 8 of the 19th season of NASA Rallycross Contenders here in Crandon. With Bryan Sawyer in the production truck and also next to me in the commentary box, my name is Josh Mertz, live on the Automotive Sports Network. The NASA Rallycross Challenge is brought to you by Overwatch Specialty Service. The only thing more unique than your problems, our solution. For more information, visit osscenter.com. Thank you, Rob Hartland, for your continued support of NASA Sim Racing. NASA Rallycross Contenders also presented by the Virtual Gaming Alliance. Don't be a real dork, be a virtual one. Shop now at vrtl-alliance.square.site. Thank you, Dylan Thomas, as presenting sponsor of NASA Rallycross Contenders. And I'm going to take ownership that I have said your URL wrong the last 7 weeks. I greatly apologize. Cameras all season on ASN are brought to you by Whiplash SimCams. Be sure to check them out at facebook.com/whiplashmedia. Thank you, Andrew Cardinale IV, for your camera support. And finally, the intro music for the NASA World feed produced by our very own Alex Abetti. If you like what you see, be sure to like and subscribe to the Automotive Sports Network on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. And ring the bell to be notified of our live streams on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday, along with our short-form video content courtesy of Jess Rakowski. If you'd like to race in NASA, we have something for everyone in 2024. All the info is at nasasimracing.com. So, this changes everything. Blue plate, championship leader, champion was going to be elect Matthew Lindy out in the semifinal. This leaves Josh Darnell, Rakowski, Robichaud, Morris, Kaplinger, and let me see who I'm missing on my screen.
Jake, Eric,
Darnell.
Matthew, and Darnell, yeah.
Who is going to come out on top here tonight, Brian? What are you thinking?
I have no idea. I mean, like, looking at these lap times right now, it looks like Darnell has found some pace, but they're all right there. They're all within a couple tenths of each other for their best laps in practice. Eric hasn't run one yet, so we'll see what happens.
So Jess Rakowski, 4 race wins. Matty Grove has 2 race wins. Josh Darnell has 1. Robichaud, Morris, and Kaplinger, 0. So we've got a 50-50 shot of a first-time winner in NASA Rallycross Contenders this evening. A couple programming notes before we head to the feature tonight in Crandon. We're going to take a look at the OSRL Cup Series tomorrow, round 2 at the Auto Club Speedway of Southern California. That is Tuesday, May 7th, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Victor Valley, Ethan Halsey, Cody Erdman for that. OSRL GT Series round 9 at Road America, Thursday, May 9th, 8:30 p.m. Eastern as well. Bryan Sawyer, Cody Erdman, Justin Robichaud for that. TWRS setups NASA Rallycross Lights round 9 in Daytona, Sunday, May 12th, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Victor Valley, James Watson, Jared Lott for that. And our penultimate round, the Overwatch Specialty Service NASA Rallycross Challenge, also in Daytona, Monday, May 13th, 8 p.m. Eastern, starting with Contenders and moving up to Supercars. Bryan Sawyer, Justin Robichaud will be back next to me. My name is Josh Mertz, getting ready for that one. That's going to be exciting as well. We've got a 50-50 shot of a first-time winner to join Cody Crosgrove in 2022A and Brock Quinn in 2023A as a winner of NASA Rallycross Contenders here in Crandon.
Eric just came out, dropped a couple laps, and just bounced out of practice. He's running 6 tenths faster than everybody so far.
Kaplinger in a Subaru, Darnell in a Ford, Rakowski Subaru, Robichaud Ford, Morris Ford. Then we've got Grove in a Ford as well. So the Blue Oval's got some good representation. Will they make it 2 wins in a row tonight? We will just have to wait and see. And of course, don't leave after this. We still have NASA Rallycross Supercars getting ready to go. We're going to have 10 cars, at least 10 cars, at the maximum. Get ready for that race. And that's going to be super exciting as well. Just finishing up the last 40 seconds of the warm-up here in Crandon. Are we going to have some shenanigans off the start is the question. We saw that happen to Lindy. We saw it happen to Lindy both times, in the semifinal and in Heat 1, Bryan.
Yeah. Don't go 3 wide, guys. Don't go 3 wide in turn 1. It's not a recipe for success.
As currently looking at Jake Robichaud in the 69, clipping the tire barrier ever so slightly. Matty Morris in front of him. Ed Boyles has disconnected as the time ticks down to grid for the feature. Put your hard hats on, your gloves, your glasses. Is this
I got my safety squints. It's okay.
That's where the joke really began, was to get your PPE and get ready for all the chaos here in Crandon. Normally we do a land rush, but just to maintain consistency, we are back to the rolling start. And our grid looks like this. Jake Robichaud with his first career pole position in NASA Rallycross Contenders. Eric Kaplinger on his first start. Matthew Morris, Josh Darnell, Matty Grove, and Jess Rakowski. No Matthew Lindy, so it's going to be a good day for Josh Darnell. But even then, with the drop week, and with the way these 2 races are scored, we might not see many point shifts. So we are battling for that Endurance Cup. So Josh Darnell looking good to maybe take that mini championship within a championship.
Yeah, the way these points are scored, or these races are scored, the only way... Darnell's at the top right now. The only way he can go is down. I mean, he's got to win to maintain that first place position. No, not win, but I think he's got to have a top 3 to maintain that first place.
I would say, because Rakowski's the only one that could really beat him, or Matty Morris, but they have to finish ahead of him. We get ready to go green in Wisconsin. It's Robichaud and Kaplinger on the front roller grid. 10 laps in Crandon. Green flag off the line. Still a very slow start, according to the sim. Rounding turn 1. Kaplinger looks to the inside of Robichaud, nudges him into the tires, goes the 277. He saves
recovered.
It after 360. And now this is Jake Robichaud leading Matty Morris, Matty Grove, Darnell, Kaplinger, and Rakowski. And this is going to be a great race. I mean, no disrespect to the 2 Slapex cars in front, but your field is inverted. You've got the fast guys in the back. This is going to be good, Bryan. Through turn 3, Grove trying to pass his teammate Morris. Rakowski nearly nudges Kaplinger, and at the end of the first lap, I can hear you screaming all the way from Eastern Canada, Justin Robichaud. Your Pops leads. At the end of the first lap, Jake Robichaud ahead of Matty Morris, Bryan.
Yeah, that was not the start I was expecting. Oh God, we got Kaplinger running up on the inside of Zach Grove. They're all the same car.
That is Grove in the 472. You do have the giant champion logo on the roof of Grove's car, but it's very hard to know what it is unless you're focused at it. So, Robichaud, Morris, Darnell, Grove, Kaplinger, and Rakowski. Rakowski stuck in traffic. Kaplinger stuck in traffic. I ran into this issue yesterday. Darnell pointed to the left, into the wall, 3 wide with Grove, with Kaplinger around to the Endurance Cup points leader. Rakowski passes him.
Oh, that might do it.
The thing is, though, I don't know if that'll count it, because that's still a 1-point difference. Darnell could potentially win the Endurance Cup with finishing last. Getting back to my point of yesterday, after I got spun around from JP DeFino and Josh Klog, I got stuck in traffic. It is so hard to get through traffic here because it's really hard to pass. You have to send it like you talked about earlier on. This is a Slapex podium sweep right now unless Kaplinger can do anything about it. He tries to battle Grove over the jump to turn 4. Put Kaplinger to 3rd. Grove fights back, trying to maintain against his teammates. Nudges the 277, saves it. And Darnell at the back of the field.
Eric knows he's fast here, but I know he doesn't want to get sideways because He knows the Subaru is a faster car, but he does not like that it doesn't have the handbrake save that the Beetle has.
He was half a second up that last time around on the two Slapex teammates of Robichaud and Morris. We have seen super crazy things happen. John Dipple, Adam Thomas, just a few names in the history of the championship to win their only race in Crandon. Kaplinger holds the third spot. We are going to have a first-time winner regardless of whoever on the podium can take the checkered flag. Coming to begin the fifth lap, we'll take cross flags halfway home next time around. Robichaud, Morris, and Kaplinger all equal on lap time. Grove 44.5, 43.4 for Darnell. He has passed Rakowski again in the 999. Rakowski had an issue in the final corner. She was trying to pass Grove and made some contact. So the Endurance Cup looking good for Darnell at the moment, even if he will come home in fifth. Actually, I think Matty Morris might steal it away. We'll get a confirmation if it stays like this, but Matty Morris might steal the Endurance Cup away from Josh Darnell, Bryan.
I'd be able to tell you if I wasn't doing double duty right now, but I can't look away from the screen. But yeah, that might be what's happening right now.
As Robichaud leads, Morris leads, Kaplinger. He was 5/10 up the last time around. Catching is one thing, passing is another. And again, take it from me, it's very hard to pass here. We've got 5 laps, still a long time left to go. Can Eric Kaplinger dispatch the two Slapex cars? Or will one of the Slapex cars get their first career win? Now, I want you to not be biased for 2 seconds, which I know would be hard. If you're in second spot and your teammate is leading and you've got a guy behind you, are you going to worry about the guy behind you or try and pass your teammate?
Well, I love Jake so much. If I'm at right now, I'm going to try and hold Eric back as much as I can, but it looks like Eric's going to try and sneak in here. I know one of the things Eric's very good at is we practice it a lot is just running close to people. Is what
As he nudges into the tires, commentator's curse!
I did it.
And the 277, he is high-centered on the tires. This is going to be is Darnell back in third? Darnell's back in third. Welcome to NASA Rallycross. So, this is an outright duel between the two Slapex cars at the front of the field. I say it every week because I mean it. Anything can happen, and it usually does over the last 12 years. We will see a first-time winner in these top two. And now, let's rehash my question to you. Now, if you're Matty, you had Kaplinger just spin off your rear bumper. Are you going for the win?
Of course. Now you're going for the win. You have, 4 seconds behind you? You're getting as close as you can. You're sending it in the grapple pit.
Rakowski, fastest of all, 43.0, but there's not a lot of time for her to make anything happen. We're coming to 2 laps to go for the 69 of Jake Robichaud. Trying to become the oldest driver in the NASA Rallycross Challenge to win. We talk about the youngest all the time. Jacob Rafos, Matthew Lindy, Evan McFarland, Dylan Smith back in the day. But we've never had a conversation of one of the oldest drivers in the series. 69 might be a meme to some, but he drives it because that is the birth year of the man in that car who leads with 2 laps to go. Morris second. Gap is half a second. Yeah, this is a complete duel between these teammates. The last time around, Morris was up by, let's call it, 1.5, maybe make it 2 tenths on his teammate Robichaud. Gap is shrinking, under 4 tenths now. Hovering, Robichaud off the track. Did he get a slowdown? Is he going to let Morris through? Looks to the inside. We're coming to the white flag.
I don't think you can get a slowdown there. So
this is a battle for the win. Morris holds the lead. Robichaud dives it in. What has happened to Jake Robichaud? White flag for Matty Morris. Are we having fuel issues? Matty Morris leads. Robichaud in second. He ran a 45-second lap time the last time around. He was super slow. There was no mistakes. Is the car sputtering? Over the jump. The gap has increased.
That sounds like Fiesta sounds to me.
8 tenths of a second. Team order, says Justin Robichaud, for Matty Morris to take the points. Justin Robichaud popped in. It was team orders for TWRS. Robichaud's going to follow him home. It's going to be Matty Morris. Win number 1 for the man from Illinois. He does it ahead of his teammate Jake Robichaud on team orders. Perfectly legal. What a team move. Darnell comes home in 3rd. That's, I guarantee you, to try and get the Endurance Cup. Rakowski, Grove, and Kapling are in 6th. Wow. That's something else. Unofficially, I don't think that did not give Morris the Endurance Cup. Josh Darnell, 4 points unofficially. The only thing that sucks is what could have been for Jake Robichaud in the 69. As everyone begins to celebrate here in Crandon. Wow. We'll try and pull in our 3rd place man, Josh Darnell. We'll try and see if we can find him. We'll pull in Matty Morris to the media pen. Just trying to have everyone ready. You'll have those 2 interviews, of course. Matty Grove burning it down. As what a run for his team. 1-2. And Josh Darnell, you got us?
Nope. Hold on. I fucked up.
As Bryan...
there we go.
Now, we got him now. Okay.
Hello, everyone.
I want to ask you, how was your race, good sir? It was chaotic from up here.
It was crazy. I don't know what happened over that jump around like lap 2, but my car got so squirrely, and I lost all of it. Wound up trying to fit the gap between I think Grove and Eric, but wound up hitting the wall and got spun. Thought my race was over, but figured I'd keep digging, and somehow God favored me, and sunshine shined upon me this day, and other people made mistakes, and I came out really lucky. That's really all it came down to, I feel like. It's just luck and determination.
One last thing for you before I ask you about the sponsors, but you, unofficially, if we look at these points, by 4 points, you have won the Endurance Cup in 2024A, my friend. So I didn't know if you knew that one.
No, I didn't. Let's go. That's awesome.
I love the emotion. In your 2nd season, you get one of the mini championships.
God, guys, this is so cool.
Yes, sir. Oh, that's so cool to hear. As now that you know
I never won anything like this. This is so cool.
Now that you know that, my friend, who'd you like to thank for your run so far in the Endurance Cup and tonight?
First and foremost, I want to thank NASA, Rallycross for putting on these amazing tournaments. You guys are great. I cannot tell everyone how much fun this is, and everyone should come out and try it. I want to thank my mom and dad for watching and always supporting me. And just my friends over at Micro Center for always tuning in and watching. You guys are awesome too. And that's all. Thank you, Josh, Bryan, and Justin for always putting on a great show.
Absolutely, my friend. And we will see you shortly in the Supercars race.
Hey, let's go. I won, baby.
Our 2nd place man, who I thought would have snuck a victory away, Jake Robichaud. Bryan, he's all yours.
Jake, how you feeling tonight? That was an awesome run. Hi, Jake. How you doing?
Hey, guys. Well, tonight was a lot of fun. Hi, Bryan. Hi, guys. I finally get up here. Wow. Kind of fun up here.
Yeah. That was a great run you had. Any reasoning for the team orders we had there?
There were no team orders, man. I am the team manager, and Matty was supposed to put Matty in the cup, right? Did that give him the championship? Yes.
No, sir. No, sir.
No. It held 2nd. You got 3rd.
Hey, that's all good, man. Hey, I thought it was going to put my teammate on the top, and well, guess what? You guys seen it. We battled till the end, and made a couple of mistakes, and whoops, guess what? Matty won. Good job on Matty. Good job on the team.
Yeah, you had a great start there at the beginning. Just got your start down. Looked like you knew exactly what you wanted to do. Got it done. Just started running away.
Put my head down, boys. Started doing laps, and just kept my eyes forward. And it was a good run. Finally, get up here to chat with you guys. Thanks for everything you guys do. A lot of fun. ASN, all the broadcast guys, everything you guys do on the inside. It's a lot of work, boys. We see it, and great job. A lot of fun.
Oh, it's great to have you up here. Anybody you want to thank tonight?
I want to thank Slapex Racing. I want to thank NASA and you guys for putting this on, ASN, all of it. But it's just so fun to get in here and race and be competitive with all you young guys, and gets us old guys doing something fun with the young guys. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. Definitely my teammates. A lot of support on my team guys. Team Slapex, Matt Grove, team owner. We do a lot of practices together, do a lot of sessions, spend a lot of time working the cars out, figuring shit out, and oh, sorry, my bad. Nowhere. There we goes the PG guy. Sorry.
It's all right. I already made it PG.
I think you get one per show, so it's okay.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate you. See you in the big show, I guess, huh?
Yep.
Yes,
Have a
sir.
good night, Jake.
10-4.
The 43rd winner in the history of NASA Rallycross Contenders, and for the first time in a long time that I can remember, back-to-back first-time winners, Matty Morris, victorious in Crandon. Bryan, all yours.
Hey, Matt. How you doing? How you feeling?
Feeling pretty good. Feeling great, actually.
Walk us through your race. Like, you got off on the start. It looked like you didn't have too many issues going through. I don't remember the full thing. It was a blur.
Not too many issues. I mean, I think Kaplinger got hung up on the tires, and I think I finished him off, if you will. So there was that. But overall, just kind of kept my nose clean as best as I could, kept the pedal down. And thank you to, big shout out to Jake for taking a dive for me and giving me a solid W right there.
Yeah, it looks like him taking the dive there for you put you in second place for the Endurance Championship. So you guys locked out the second and third. Darnell got first for that, but you guys had a great run tonight. Anybody you want to thank tonight?
Just big thank you to everyone at Slapex there. Definite big shout out to Jakey. Really appreciate you, bud. Big thanks to you guys, everyone a part of the NASA team. Seriously, guys. Couldn't do it without you. So very happy to come out here every week.
All right. Well, thank you. I hope to see you up here again.
Before I let you go, you got to let Russell know that you won before he did and like shove it in his face. I think he'd think that's hilarious.
Absolutely. Believe me, I rub salt in his wounds every time I see him. So I'll be letting him know again.
All right, buddy. Good run. And we'll see you in the supercar race shortly.
Sounds good. See you guys there.
So, unofficially, we're going to take a look at the Drivers' Championship exiting Crandon after the Endurance Cup. Matthew Lindy still holds that points lead, and he has, I think, 2 points to clinch. So all he has to do is start, and he will clinch next week in Daytona. Josh Darnell, 5 points ahead of Matty Morris. Morris a further 3 points ahead of Rakowski. Grove, Wetz, Robichaud, Boyles, Dubois, and Sawers, the remaining top 10 there. In the team's championship, Slapex Ford with this 1-2 finish has vaulted ahead of KES Industries. 40 points up on them. It's looking good to potentially clinch a week early as well. JC Simsport Jr., Slapex Subaru, TWR Fiesta Siesta down the order there. In the Manufacturers Championship, Subaru 207, Ford 179, and Volkswagen with 39. So that concludes the NASA Rallycross Contenders portion of our show. On the other side of the break, we will head to the NASA Rallycross Supercars here in Crandon. Stick around.
So interesting.
I love your browser history.
I like that you're not hiding anything from me.
By the way, nice IP address. I like your neighborhood.
You are so special. This ad is just for you.
I learned so many things from you.
You are so generous.
With your personal data.
Switch on privacy, switch off trackers and viruses. Go to NordVPN.com. NordVPN. Safely be you.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Absolutely be doing what he has to do. He has to go for the championship. He has to recover the points that he lost. He's down the race, takes the lead in the 12. What a move. And he takes the lead and holds it.
Side between these two and Paramount. This is going to get spicy.
Exiting turn 1, over the jump to begin the first lap clock at the inside line. McFarland contact between them. They are still side by side. This opens the door for Wetz. He can't make anything happen. In the 26, he has not won in quite some time. Dragster acing the entry to turn 1, up Betty to the inside of Magnus, gives him a nudge. The grip strip on the inside, Phil. Wetz had a little bit better run, but looks like Wetz will hold his spot. We welcome you back to Crandon, Wisconsin for round 8 of the 2024 Overwatch Specialty Service NASA Rallycross Challenge live on the Automotive Sports Network with Bryan, Sawyer in the production truck and next to me in the commentary box. My name is Josh Mertz. The NASA Rallycross Challenge brought to you by Overwatch Specialty Service. The only thing more unique than your problem is our solution. For more information, visit osscenter.com. Thank you, Rob Hartland, for your continued support of NASA Sim Racing. Cameras for tonight's broadcast brought to you by Whiplash SimCams. Be sure to check them out at facebook.com/whiplashmedia. Thank you, Andrew Cardinale IV, for your camera support. And finally, the intro music for the NASA World Feed produced by our very own Alex of Betty. If you like what you have seen so far tonight, be sure to like and subscribe to the Automotive Sports Network on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, and ring the bell to be notified of our live streams on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday, along with our short-form video content courtesy of Jess Rakowski. If you'd like to race in NASA, we have something for everyone, and all of that information is at nasasimracing.com. Just a reminder that in NASA Rallycross, our format is as follows. We are finishing open practice now, which leads us into a 3-lap single-car qualifying that splits the field equally into 5-lap heat races. The top 2 will transfer to the feature automatically. The winner will get 3 bonus points, and the runner-up will get 2. The rest of our drivers sent to the semifinals. Also 5 laps. Top 2 will transfer to the feature, and the winner will receive a bonus point, and this will set the grid for the 10-lap feature race, where the points are awarded and trophies are handed out. Coming into the Crandon Grand Prix this evening, and the championship looks a little bit like this. It's a 10-point lead from Evan McFarland to Kieran Lifflander. Matthew Lindy out. Remember, the Contenders points leader out in the semifinal earlier on, so he does not transfer up. I'm not sure if Francois is here tonight, so 4th place in points not here either. So Robbie Kirtley, Darnell, Grove, Rakowski, Morris, Wetz, the top 10. The Constructors Championship, it's a foregone conclusion that KES Industries has locked this one up compared to Zeem Setup Shop and Slapex Ford. And the Manufacturers Championship, a lock as well with Subaru, Ford, and Volkswagen. And if I'm looking at it and I add the numbers up, KES becomes the 11th team in the history of the championship to win a Constructors Championship. And this will become the 21st Manufacturers Championship for Subaru. To put it into perspective, out of 30 seasons, it is 21 for Subaru, 5 for Mitsubishi, 2 for Citroen, and 2 for Volkswagen. And in all of the seasons in the modern era of NASA Sim Racing on iRacing, Subaru has won all of them except in 2020B. So practice finishing up. We're going to head to qualifying. And the joke's on me. I cannot advance it. So, Brian, I don't know what you'll have to do to give me those permissions. But trying just to advance it forward. There we go.
Type in the things. You know, Josh, I think Citroen's going to have a big season next year.
I wish Citroen would be back. I wish we would get all those cars back. That was one of the fun things about NASCAR 2003. You could make the tracks, make the templates, make the cars. It was fun. I joke about it all the time that if anyone from iRacing is watching, just let me work for free. I'll make tracks for you. It's okay. We joke about licensing. Forget about it. I won't make any money off of it. Forget about it. Give me the keys to the kingdom and we'll be all okay. First car on track, Kieran Lifflander in car number 20. It wasn't mentioned yesterday. He was trying to make it 5 race wins in a row in lights, and you curtailed that. So the kid from South Carolina, only 4 in a row in lights after that race yesterday.
Doing my job.
And you did win 1 race that you have for every single season in lights, so hopefully I'll have some better luck next week. Either way, we have digressed. We begin qualifying. Kieran Lifflander, first car to begin the run. Jess Rakowski, Jake Robichaud, Josh Darnell, Matty Grove, Robbie Kirtley still in the pit lane. And we talked in the break. We have special guest Ethan Halsey. He's hanging out with us just quietly, preparing for his debut tomorrow in OSRL Cup Series in the commentary box. And we were all discussing, why would you give up the lead in your first win to potentially give the guy the win, but he didn't win the championship? What could have been for the 69. Across the line, Lifflander 40.747 for the second place man in points, 42.1 for Rakowski, 42.6 for Robichaud, and Josh Darnell, the Endurance Cup winner in Contenders, hits the wall. That lap's going to be invalidated. Matty Grove will cross the line, 42.0. Matty Morris, the race winner, he's beginning his run. Kirtley's going to begin his run. We just got to wait for Evan McFarland and Justin Robichaud, Brian, to make their runs here.
Yeah, it's strange that neither of them are on the track, but they got a little time. I'm looking forward to see what Justin's going to pull out. Because in the practice, he found pace. He was about 2 seconds off of Kieran in pre-practice, and then coming into this session, he was right with him.
McFarland not on track. Robichaud is on track in the 193, just awaiting to launch at the end of the pit lane. As Lifflander ran a 41.3 the last time around, so he was 0.6 down on his previous lap time. And he will head over the jump. We focus now on Jake Robichaud in the 69. Down the hill, back up the hill, jumping down to turn number 3. Rakowski ran a 42.9. Robichaud and McFarland on track. Robichaud beginning his run. McFarland running his run. Let's focus on the defending champion, Evan McFarland, in car number 1. Over the first couple jumps to begin the lap. Very tight line in turn 1. Avoiding wheel spin over the first jump. Aiming on the right, cutting the car back to the left. Don't hit the berm on the left. Both berms on the left, like I did chasing you, Brian, yesterday. In the heat race, Darnell goes P3, 41.8. But Kirtley is a second slower than Lifflander. He ran a 41.7. Down to turn 3. Basically, diamond this corner, straight line it off the corner, get all you can. Over the final jump, like we talked about, Calamity happened a couple seasons ago. Get the car already rotated before the corner, on the straightaway, rounding the final corner. McFarland, 41.1. He's 4/10 down. Where's Robichaud? 42.6. Put him 8th, right behind his pops. So now, Lifflander's done. I'm interesting to see that McFarland's just going to run this, Brian. I thought you would want to back up the corner and like sacrifice this lap, but he might be using all of it.
I mean, I was debating it when I was strategizing for last night. You back up lap 1. Sometimes you might have a banger on lap 2, and by this point, you know where you're at, and you decide if you want to back it
There
up
he
or not.
goes.
It looks like, yep, he's gonna back it up. He didn't have the time.
Final lap for the defending champion. Just for kicks, he ran a 42.6. That would have put him last through turn 1. On the final qualifying run, let's ride on board. Car number 1, Evan McFarland, holding the red plate, trying to make it 2 championships in a row, but it has been a dogfight with him and Kieran Lifflander all season long. Down the hill, up the hill, down to turn number 3. No improvement for the rest of the grid. Jake Robichaud has completed his run, or he is completing his run. We'll pick him up here in a moment. Turn 3, down to the final jump for Evan McFarland. Does he have anything for Kieran Lifflander in the final corner?
Delta showing him run
Only
a little,
car for
little
KES
faster.
across the line, 41.5, nowhere close. Robichaud, 42.5. That gives pole position for Heat 1 to Kieran Lifflander.
I do not understand this timing screen. I can't read.
That's okay. All you need to know is how to drive cars fast.
It says -0.4
So-
and then it lies.
So, we're going to give these guys just a minute or so before we get our ducks in a row to get ready here in Crandon. So, just a couple reminders of programming notes before we head to heat number 1. Here in Crandon, tomorrow, the OSRL Cup Series Round 2 at the Auto Club Speedway of Southern California. That'll be 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Victor Valley, Ethan Halsey, Cody Urban, I think. But like I mentioned in the opener, that crew is subject to change for Tuesday and Thursday. We're still trying to figure those out. The OSRL GT Series Round 9 at Road America, also here in Wisconsin. That is Thursday, May 9th, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Bryan Sawyer, Cody Urban, Justin Robichaud for that. The TWRS NASA Rallycross Lights Round 9 at Daytona, the penultimate round of NASA's season. Sunday, May 12th, 9 p.m. Eastern. Victor Valley, James Watson, Jared Lott for that. And the penultimate round of the 30th season of the Overwatch Specialty Service NASA Rallycross Challenge, also in Daytona, next Monday, May 13th, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, starting with Contenders and moving up to Supercars later on. Bryan Sawyer, Justin Robichaud, myself, Josh Mertz for that. So, with that being said, I think we can advance over to heat number 1. And I think it's going to be a repeat of earlier when we talked about who can transfer battling Matthew Lindy, but little did we know, 5 seconds into the race, Lindy had some issues, Bryan.
Yeah, we're looking for nobody to go 3 wide this time. I mean, these guys are a little more experienced, but you still don't want to go 3 wide.
Grid, Lifflander, Kirtley, Grove, Morris, and Justin Robichaud making the surprise run in the Endurance Cup in the 193. And I guess I don't want to disparage my friend Justin when you listen to this back, right? But this is just my point shows how important track time is. Justin is no slouch. Former champion of the Contenders Series, knows how to drive these supercars. But Bryan, if you're only running the car for a couple weeks compared to these guys running every single week, track time imperative.
Oh yeah, I know if I came back and ran these cars, I'd have to be a contender. I am nowhere near this pace.
So, Lifflander grids up. We begin to roll for heat number 1 here in Crandon. The parallel parking safety truck goes back to pit lane. And we roll for heat number 1.
Yeah, Kieran here trying to get heat in those tires.
So Kirtley, what is Kirtley doing?
Kirtley's ensuring he gets the runoff. He wants to be in his specific spot, and he doesn't want Kieran to dictate that. Oh,
That's fair. Heat number 1, green flag. That's exactly what he did. Thought about taking it, and Lifflander holds the spot. Side by side, it was Grove and Kirtley to the first corner. Grove hits the tire, saves it. Morrison Robichaud in the back of the field, over the first jump. Lifflander, Kirtley, Grove, Robichaud way wide. I thought Morris hit the berm in the 24. He did not. Down to turn 3. Lifflander leads ahead of Kirtley. Now, if you're Kirtley, you got to hang out in front of your teammate. Grove want to run through turn 3, but he doesn't have the run off the corner. And Kirtley trying to hang with Lifflander. And at the end of the first lap, Kieran Lifflander leads just a kiss on the inside wall for the 20. The Subaru leads 2-4, the Subaru and a Ford here in heat number 1.
Yeah, what Grove just did back there is super enticing to try and take the inside on that turn 3, but it never pays off on the exit. You've scrubbed all speed. It takes too long to get going back on the gas.
That's why it's so important to run deep into these corners on the truck tracks, to utilize all of the runoff to get the straight line through the corner. So now, Kirtley, I think, is going to try something different to try and stay battling with Lifflander. He gets the run off the corner. That first lap alone, Lifflander was half a second up on Kirtley. We're going to take a look at lap times when they begin to roll in. The man from Virginia battling the kid from South Carolina. We've got Grove from Pennsylvania, Robichaud from New Brunswick, Canada, and Morris from Illinois. Last time around, Kirtley was down 2/10. Fastest of all, Lifflander at a 41.619 for the 20. And I talk about it all the time, Brian. One thing you cannot let Lifflander do is run and hide.
No, that looks like that's what he's trying to do right here. He's gone 3 or 4 tenths up on Kirtley here in the last half a lap. He's taking that turn very deep.
It's going to be a battle, I think it's going to be a battle for best of the rest between Grove and Robichaud. Of course, like we said earlier, anything can happen. We're coming to 2 laps to go. Robichaud looking good to try and make a move on Grove. Lap times 41.3 for Lifflander. We ride on board Robichaud in the 193.
He's taking it a little deep there. Well, he's going to set
Kirtley
up
in
for
the
that nice straight line exit.
42.0. Robichaud and Grove were equal on lap times. It was 42.3 for the both of them.
Oh.
Clips the berm.
The berm eats lap
Morris.
times for lunch.
That happened to me against you in heat number 1 yesterday. It's so hard to stay focused with these cars. And Robichaud going to give up some time there for sure. We're coming to the white flag for Kieran Lifflander.
I think I remember saying, that's it, when I saw you hit it in my rearview mirror.
I can tell you that I do not drive with comms on, so you were saying that to nobody because I wasn't paying attention.
No, I was saying it to my team.
Lifflander a second up on Kirtley. He's beginning to unleash the pace. 41.3 to a 42.2. 42.4 for Grove and a 43.3 for Robichaud. Hitting the berm has cost him a second, and he does it again into the fence. So he's going to give up a grid spot here. He full throttles it to try and get rolling, but will put him to 5th. Over the jump for the final time. Back up front, Kieran Lifflander. The dueling continues between him and McFarland. He wins heat number 1. Transferring will be Robbie Kirtley in the 0.24 as best of the rest. Grove, Morris, and Robichaud.
Josh, I only trash talk in between races.
You trash talk during the week. You trash talk during the week in practice. Don't let this man fool you. He's a living troll, which is not a bad thing. McFarland, Darnell, Rakowski, and Robichaud. So, next question is transfer battle. We talking Darnell and Rakowski. Those two have been battling contenders. Jake Robichaud was impressive as well.
It's going to be a nice fight for second. I think all 3 of them should be on top of each other most of the race.
It's a shame that no Francois tonight. The French-Canadian did win a couple of the Endurance Cup races. He won here, granted after the penalty to Abedi, but he won here last season on the long layout. He won in a duel with his then teammate, Evan McFarland, and Wild West in Nevada. But no French-Canadian Martel, former series champion, tonight in Wisconsin. As we begin to roll for Heat 2.
I was hoping for a surprise Magnus appearance for this track. He loves these so much.
The bowling ball, Magnus Okenhaug, the Norwegian, with 5 career wins in the NASA Rallycross Challenge, and he's certainly a fan of these tracks as we get ready for Heat 2 in Wisconsin. Green flag, off the line. McFarland closes the door on Darnell. Rakowski battling Robichaud into Darnell, and they both straighten it out.
Wow.
Rakowski, it looked like Robichaud vaulted the tires, and Rakowski goes to second. Hits the berm in the 999. 3 wide. Get
out of my way.
Robichaud nearly ends up in the wall. Rakowski mowing the lawn. Robichaud mowing the lawn. We're down to turn 3. McFarland can run a test session because these 3 contenders are going to brawl to the death, Brian. For this transfer, they touch on corner exit, and Darnell gets shoved wide.
Yeah, back in that turn there, Jake said, move, and I'll fix you, but move.
McFarlane leads at the end of the first lap, 42-2, 44-5 for Robichaud, 45-3 for Rakowski. And now it's just a test session for McFarlane to try and get the pace that he's missing on Kieran, Brian. Robichaud second, Rakowski third. Let's ride on board Evan McFarlane for a lap or so and get a taste here in Crandon.
Good.
Two to go for Evan McFarlane. 41.628 was his last lap, and that was resetting the fastest lap. Just an update, Josh Darnell way off the pace, obviously, after missing one of the jumps. Jake Robichaud holds the transfer over Jess Rakowski, and Robichaud is a couple tenths down. That same incident where Robichaud came off the corner and hit Darnell, that was the exact incident that took out Romain Rateau back in 2023. Rakowski finding any possible way to get by the elder Robichaud, but you get stuck out there in that loose dirt, you just don't get any grip.
Yeah, she's pushing a little too hard, Josh.
McFarlane takes the white flag.
She's taking these corners a little too aggressive, pushing too hard on the pedal, getting a lot of dirt kick up.
You just gotta take a step back, remember to breathe, and remember to be very careful on the accelerator and the brake in these supercars.
Pretend Jake's not there and just pretend it's a qualify lap. Just hit your marks.
41.6 the last time around for McFarlane. He matched his last 3 lap times. So the championship leader looking very good to try and get to the front row of the grid. Final corner, and it will be McFarlane versus Liftlander again in Wisconsin. McFarlane wins Heat 2. Jake Robichaud will transfer. Best of the rest, Rakowski and Darnell. Grid for the semifinal. And no crazy surprises this time. Matty Grove, Jess Rakowski, Matty Morris, Darnell, and Robichaud will be our 5 cars dueling for the 3 spots this evening in Wisconsin. I guess no surprises, meaning a championship leader removed and having to go through the semifinal. All these guys are pretty equal on pace, given that, well, 4 of them are contenders, and Robichaud, of course, not as frequent in the supercars as the rest of them, so it's kind of an equalizer here.
I smell danger.
Do we need our hard hats now? Because I took mine off.
Yeah, we need them now.
Okay, well, I'll get it. I left all of it in the other room because I didn't think that this would be chaotic. We wait for Robichaud to get on grid, which he has, and now we will begin to roll for our rolling start here in Crandon for the semifinal.
I think some moves are going to be made in turn 1.
I wouldn't doubt it. Best spot to make a move, like you commented earlier, is in turn 1, especially with the start being so iffy. But Grove, Rakowski. There's one guy that knows to get his elbows out. It is the Arena Cross rider, Matty Grove. So we'll just have to wait and see. Yeah. 5 cars, 5 laps, top 2 transfer. Here in Crandon, green flag. Rakowski got a huge surge. Grove comes across into Rakowski. The hard hats are on, down to turn number 1. Morris and Darnell, 3rd and 4th. Robichaud in 5th. We're still side by side for the race lead over the first jump. through turn 2. Very respectful. Avoid the burn, but you did it! Rakowski hits it. Around goes the 999 from the second spot. We're still battling for the transfer. Grove got backed up. Morris and Darnell. I think Robichaud is just waiting for something to happen. Morris got hit by Darnell. We're 3 wide off the corner.
Justin.
And Justin sneaks in. 1 car wide. It was Grove. I thought he was headed towards the wall.
Oh.
At the end of the first lap,
Morris
hits it.
slams the wall.
Grove
So
leads
Justin.
ahead of Darnell. Robichaud has parked it in the 193. So Grove leads Darnell and Rakowski after 1 lap, Bryan.
Yeah, this is starting to just look like a battle for who's getting the better start position in the feature. Jess is 2 seconds back.
Onto the bank is Grove. Shoves him wide, and our Endurance Cup winner from Contenders now in a transfer in the semifinal.
One thing we haven't seen a lot of tonight is truck-style passes on here. Little getting them next and pushing people wide. Everybody's been pretty clean about it, but that's how I like to pass here. Haven't seen much of it tonight.
3 to go in the semifinal. Darnell leads. His last lap is a 42.1, 43.4 for Grove, 42.3 for Rakowski. Darnell was the fastest that last time around. And Matty Morris, after slamming into the wall, in the 24. So Darnell trying to transfer into the feature when he won the Endurance Cup earlier on, and Matty Morris, the race winner from earlier on the outside looking in. Matty Grove in the 472. Trying to take that better grid spot, but if I'm Matty, I just back off. Rakowski was equal on your lap time the last time around. There's really no delta there for the 999. 2 to go for Darnell.
So she has gained some time back. Yeah, she gained about 6 tenths back last lap.
A 10th up on Darnell the last time around. I think Rakowski just set the fastest lap, 41.928, gaining on Grove in the 472. 6 tenths up was Rakowski versus Grove. But again, is the 999 pushing too hard? A little bit too hard on the gas.
Right gravel pit right there. She's pushing it way too wide in the first half.
White flag for Darnell. His last time, 42.4, 42.7, 42.5. So the lap time, you can tell. Rakowski sees it, but it's so easy to push over your head. You have to take a step back. Like I said earlier, step back, breathe, feel the car, instead of getting overzealous and trying to make a move that will not happen.
See, now if I'm her this time, I'm sending it real tight on the inside of this next big turn here and just trying to use Matt as a break, yeah, but doesn't look like that's going to happen here.
Nowhere close. Matty Morris has retired as well in the 24. Over the jump for the final time. Chaos in the first little bit of it, but Josh Darnell will come off the final corner to win the semifinal, transferring his Grove. 7th place, and best of the rest will be Rakowski, followed by Morris and Justin Robichaud. So just like that, the gridding process is over here in Crandon, and on the other side of the break, we go racing for the Crandon Grand Prix.
You're so interesting.
I love your browser history.
I like that you're not hiding anything from me.
By the way, nice IP address. I like your neighborhood.
You are so special. This ad is just for you.
I learned so many things from you.
You are so generous.
With your personal data.
Switch on privacy, switch off trackers and viruses. Go to NordVPN.com. NordVPN. Safely be you.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Absolutely be doing what he has to do. He has to go for the championship. He has to recover the points that he lost. He's down the race, takes the lead in the 12. What a move. And he takes the lead and holds it.
Side between these two in the terminal. This is going to get spicy.
Exiting turn one, over the jump to begin the first lap. Clog is the inside line. McFarland contact between them. They are still side by side. This opens the door for Wetz. He can't make anything happen. From the 26, he has not won in quite some time. Dragster acing the entry to turn one, up Betty to the inside of Magnus, gives him a nudge. The grip strip on the inside, Phil. Wetz had a little bit better run, but looks like Robbie's going with his spot. We welcome you back to round 264 of the championship overall and round 8 of the 30th season of the Overwatch Specialty Service NASA Rallycross Challenge here in Crandon. With Bryan Sawyer in the production truck and also next to me in the commentary box, my name is Josh Mertz, live on the Automotive Sports Network. The NASA Rallycross Challenge tonight brought to you by Overwatch Specialty Service. Not sure why I said tonight, that's just in general, words are hard. The only thing more unique than your problem is our solution. For more information, visit osscenter.com. Thank you, Rob Hartland, for your continued support of NASA Sim Racing. Cameras for tonight's broadcast also brought to you by Whiplash SimCams. Be sure to check them out at facebook.com/whiplashmedia. Thank you, Andrew Cardinale IV, for your camera support. Finally, the intro music for the NASA World feed produced by our very own Alex Sabetti. And if you like what you see, be sure to like and subscribe to the Automotive Sports Network on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, and ring the bell to be notified of our live streams on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday, along with our short-form video content courtesy of Jess Rakowski. If you'd like to race in NASA, we have something for everyone, including something that Bryan Sawyer just hinted to me in the ad break. I'll be quiet on that one. All the info is at nasasimracing.com. A couple programming notes before we get rolling here in Crandon. Round 2 of the OSRL Cup Series tomorrow, May 7th, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. That's at the Auto Club Speedway of Southern California. That's going to be a wonderful race. Victor Valley, Ethan Halsey, Cody Erdman. I think crew can change at any moment. Round 9 of the OSRL GT Series at Road America. That's Thursday, May 9th, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Bryan Sawyer, Cody Erdman, Justin Robichaud. Again, the crew is subject to change. The TWRS NASA Rallycross Lights, Round 9 at Daytona, Sunday, May 12th, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Victor Valley, James Watson, Jared Lott. The crew is not subject to change there, and you guys have been killing it all season. And the penultimate round of the Overwatch Specialty Service NASA Rallycross Challenge, also in Daytona, Monday, May 13th, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, starting with Contenders, going up to Supercars. Bryan Sawyer, Justin Robichaud, myself, Josh Mertz for that. Bryan Sawyer, give me a prediction for this feature.
I've just learned that I am the only constant between all these series. But I'm telling you, Greg, I think it's Kieran, Evan, Jake. That's our podium tonight.
You think Jake Robichaud is going to squeak his way on an overall podium?
Darnell's made a few mistakes tonight. I think Jake's been pretty solid all night.
Okay.
I think he's beaten Kirtley too. In practice right now, he's in 4th, not too far off of Darnell.
You reckon Darnell mistake? Liftlander and McFarland might even crash into each other. They are .063 away from each other fastest lap times. So those two kids could potentially crash.
Then we give Jake the win he just lost.
I would lose my mind. Do you understand that one? That would be wild. Wow. So we're just finishing up the last minute or so of warm-up, and then we're going to go racing here in Wisconsin. And talking in the ad break, if you'd like to join, like I said, NASASimRacing.com. The fields look a little bit thinner. We're experimenting with some things this season. We're going to be experimenting with some things in 2024B. And then we're not running a 3rd season this year, if any of you are unaware. So we're going to be off for a couple of months, come back, run 10 straight, and have a nice little break and have some unofficial series, and maybe we'll have some unofficial Rallycross. We experimented with some things last off season in regards to that. We did a nice little bracket challenge. That was super fun. And a lot of things.
One thing that's not a secret, I want to do my 1v1 tournament.
That's kind of what I was alluding to with the bracket. That was super fun. We ran that at Phoenix. That was very, very fun. We just got to figure out how to format that. And I don't know if you want to tell everyone what your plan was with a certain vehicle on certain tracks. That could be your domain there.
That's fine. I want to do trucks. Just put trucks up. Nothing superficial. Just trucks. Just all these guys in trucks. Just for a couple weeks.
Super fun. So, last 20 seconds or so of warm-up, and then we will begin to grid. And warm-up times, I know we don't have a graphic, but 40.952, 40.996, and Liftlander just went quicker by half a tenth. That is going to be wild to watch. It has been crazy all season long. I've said it every single week, that it doesn't matter that there's only the two kids that are way out front pulling away from each other. It doesn't matter. To watch these guys at their best, it's something else. So, warm-up is over. We begin to grid here in Crandon, and the grid looks like this. Got Kieran Liftlander and Evan McFarland on the front row, Robbie Kirtley, Jake Robichaud, Josh Darnell, and Matty Grove. So, I almost think, and we don't want to jinx it, but if the two kids crash into each other, we might have a contender sneak in. I always talk about Kirtley having a golden horseshoe somewhere to where he can transfer into a feature or get a podium finish or whatever it might be. He's been surprising. Darnell had a golden horseshoe to win the Endurance Cup earlier, and Matty Grove certainly has one as well. We historically, of course, wait for Evan McFarland to grid last for our 6 cars, 10 laps here in Crandon. Kirtley's ready to go. Bump drafting, Liftlander. Parallel parking pace truck. Say that 10 times fast. To the pit lane.
Kirtley's got Tom and I's strategy from last night. Get Tom right up on the back of my car and just go at exactly the same time and hold off the outside the inside from sneaking out on us.
Kieran Liftlander, 2 career wins starting from pole position. Evan McFarland, 8 career wins and the defending champion of the series. 6 cars, 10 laps as we get ready to go green in Wisconsin. Green flag, Liftlander cuts across, tries to close the door this early. Into turn number 1. McFarland takes the spot. Robichaud, Kirtley, Grove smacks Darnell out of the way for the 5th spot. We were side by side for the moment between the two kids up front. the hill, down the hill, heading back up the hill to turn
Darnell
number 3. Couple around in the back, it's Darnell in the 029. He made contact with Grove in the 472. Kirtley looking good in the 024 as well, off the corner. A couple car lengths between Lifflander and McFarland over the jump into the final corner. To end the first lap, Lifflander leads ahead of Evan McFarland. The gap is half a second between the two kids. And we've got Kirtley in third, Grove in fourth, fifth Robichaud, sixth Darnell.
Looks like Jake went wide in the back to let Matt through on the final turn there. I think maybe he thinks Grove has more pace than him.
And Kirtley, if you're Kirtley, you just got to hang with these two to get the podium finish. You have not had a good season. And I mean no disrespect for the man from Virginia. And McFarland now, the name of the game is to hang on to the rear wing of your fellow championship rival, Kieran Lifflander. He wants the race lead for himself, trying to go side by side, just a kiss of the wall. They touch. Last lap, he was a 10th up on Lifflander in the 1 to the 20. Currently 41.6, so he's hanging tough. A couple tenths behind them, of course. Grove, Robichaud, Darnell. That running order has not changed. The gap is a quarter of a second. Just over that from Lifflander to McFarland. Down to turn 3 yet again. Full commitment to get that car to rotate. I don't even have that commitment all the time in the Beetle Light because you think you're just going to slide all the way off the track and it just somehow sticks. Final corner. Lifflander's going to defend the inside. Well, McFarland finds something different on the 20, and he was a 10th down that last time.
If I'm Evan, I'm looking to do it in turn 1. I did it on Kieran last night, turn 1. It seems like he goes a little wider than most in there, and you can just sneak right in. So
Kirtley was equal. Kirtley was equal on them on lap times the last time around as well. So the 024. We talked about Jake Robichaud might be able to sneak in if something goes wrong. If something goes wrong, it might be Kirtley's day in the sun. Lifflander, McFarland, still battling. Two different lines, exiting turn 3, over the jump, and down to turn 4. Darnell's closing in on Robichaud in the back of the field. We're not missing anything there. Across the line, 41.6 to a 41.5. It's a 10th in it again from McFarland to Lifflander. As we ride on board, car number 1, Evan McFarland for KES Industries. Looking to lock up the Constructors' Championship, of course. And we are 4 tenths away from the race lead here in Crandon. 5th gear, 6th gear. Ever so softly on the gas pedal to avoid the wheel spin. Lifflander runs a little bit deep. McFarland looks to have the run on the inside. Now on the outside, Lifflander cuts across on McFarland. Down to turn 4, they touch! They're both sliding! Where is Kirtley? He's too far back. We take cross flags, and Lifflander trying to battle McFarland. He leads at the line! They touch! They both go off the track, and Kirtley to the race lead!
Wow.
McFarland's gonna wait! Lifflander gets back on track! What did I tell you? Kirtley's got a horseshoe, and he has the race lead. Now, if you're Robbie Kirtley, take a breath. Don't push. You're sitting in a race-winning position, but you've got Kieran Lifflander with red mist behind you, Bryan.
Oh boy. Yeah, you don't want that. It's not a fun thing to know that that's right behind you.
I say it every single week on my old man tangents, but back in the day, that used to happen to Philip Kraus. I used to lead. I would get passed by Phil at the end of the race. You gain so much pace when you see red mist. I guess I could say it from me yesterday, but it's something else. Robbie Kirtley holds the lead with 4 laps to go. The gap is 6 seconds. Actually, sorry, timing updated. It's 2 seconds. It was 6 back to McFarland. Apologies there. 2 seconds is the gap from Kirtley to Lifflander, and Kirtley was hanging about 3 tenths of a second away, Bryan, from these two before they came together.
Yeah, we were talking just a lap prior before that incident. Kirtley had run in an identical lap time, so he's got the pace. It's just keeping your cool. Do your breathing. Do your breathing, Kirtley.
3 laps to go, trying to get Slapex Racing their first win in NASA Rallycross Supercars. 1.2 is the gap. Lifflander was 6 tenths of a second up, and we talked about it earlier on. We talk about it every single show, but catching him is one thing, passing is another.
Hey, 6 tenths up, 2 laps will put him right on top of him. Which,
As McFarlane has gotten by Robichaud and Darnell, so put the championship leader back to 4th. This is crucial for him in the Endurance Cup.
They're going
He's
3
down
wide
on
back
points. We're battling 3 wide. No Martel. McFarlane down the order. Can Darnell sneak his way? No, he can't. As Robichaud sends McFarlane in the back.
There's the
and Darnell lets him go.
Looking for.
2 laps to go. Liftlander was 3 tenths up on Robbie Kirtley the last time around. McFarlane is down in 6th. Darnell is 1 spot up. This, I think, if it ends now, would give McFarlane the Endurance Cup win, I think, or Liftlander might steal it. Of course, we'll just have to wait and see. The gap is under a second. It is 7 tenths. Now rubber banding back to 1.2. We'll see when it evens out. 1.2 between Kirtley and Liftlander. We are going to have 1 lap, 3/4 of a mile left for Robbie Kirtley with the Golden Horseshoe to try and get Slapex their first win in Supercars, and for Kirtley to become the 45th driver in the history of the championship to get it done.
Evan needs to. No, I think Evan finishing last year. Yeah, Evan will hold the championship by 1 point.
We saw it years and years ago. In 2017, it was myself and Philip Kraus that came together in Vancouver. It gave Brendan Berg the opportunity to win the race. Races like this have happened over the past 12 years and 30 seasons of the championship. And Bryan Sawyer, we might be seeing it over the jump for the final time. The 2 kids came together, and it's Robbie Kirtley from Virginia, the 45th winner in the history of the championship. He does it in Crandon. Another first-time winner in Wisconsin. Liftlander comes home in 2nd. Grove on the podium. It's a 1-3 for Slapex, and Matty Grove is going to lose his mind. Jake Robichaud 4th, McFarlane 5th, and Darnell in 6th. Wow. That's all I have to say is, wow, what a show. So I'm going to bring in our 3rd place man, Matty Grove, as we confirmation of those results. Bryan, are we good for interviews internally? Because this is going to be a good one.
Give me one moment here.
Oh, you better give it to him.
I think we're good.
We are all good. Matty Grove, first of all, let's go, baby.
Dude, I'm going to do some donuts and scream here with my teammates. First off, huge shout out, Lane, Riley, Shelby. I know you're watching. Oh my goodness. This is amazing. I never thought I was going to make the feature, let alone podium. Big shout out to James Watson, Francois Martel over at TWRS. So the sets they provided for us, being kind over, we had them because we're sponsored and we're part of TWRS. We drive for them. So hats off to you guys. Thank you for always bringing the heat. Not always do I drive the car so well, but you guys always have fire setups for us. Thanks, Josh, Justin, everybody, Bryan on the admin team, everybody on my team, Slapex Racing. You guys keep me on my toes. We drive so well together. That's part of the dynamics. Just out here kicking some rear end. Thanks to Evansburg Yamaha. They hold me down in the rig. Without them, I wouldn't have a paycheck. So thanks to them. Thanks to my wife and kids again. They put up with me down here driving. Lane, we're going to get you some practice. We're going to get the next generation of NASA contenders started. And he just turned 6. So, we're going to have him down here in the rig, hanging out, playing around. Thank you again to NASA. Without you guys, we wouldn't have anywhere awesome to race. Thank you to the good Lord above, waking me up this morning. Josh, I don't know if I missed anything else except if you guys have a sim rig and you play iRacing and you're not following the NASA Discord and you don't get your rear ends off the couch and start racing with us, I'm going to get upset. So follow us, www.nasasimracing.com. Get your ass off the couch and in the rig and race with us.
So, what a run, my friend. I'm going to let you celebrate with your team. Great run, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you, sir.
Second place, man, Kieran Lifflander. And what a recovery, I would say. I guess talk me through your race, my friend.
Yeah, that was eventful. Had that time both the heat and feature starts. I don't know, almost perfect, like maybe 1,000th off of the green, but nonetheless, just overshot on lap 5, the last corner, and I saw Evan was like gonna send it, so gave him the room, and then he hit me and banging doors across the line, and I just couldn't turn anymore whenever we were heading into turn 1 over the jump, so that resulted in him hitting my right rear and got me turned around, and then we just put our throttle back in it, and spotter said I was clear, so I just slammed the throttle and finished 5/10 behind Robbie, and good win for Robbie. Well, good for him for getting past all that carnage, but it's always fun racing with Evan. Just had a couple hiccups here and there tonight, but still podium finish and pretty happy about it.
Last question I want to ask. Anyone you'd like to thank for yet another podium finish this season?
Zeem Sub Shop, Kenny Zeem's Daniel Folds, Mom, Dad, all the friends that are watching. Yeah, I don't know where I am in points, but I think
unofficially, you are second. You are 11 down on Evan McFarland, my friend. Still doable.
Yeah, we'll see what we can do when we head to Daytona Short next week. I am hitting 2/10 faster than my new PB, so we'll see what we can do there. And I've beat Evan several times at Phoenix, so hopefully we can keep that up. And if we do that, I believe we will get that championship. But anything can happen. I won't jinx myself. I can't wait to it.
All right, my friend. Good run tonight. We'll see you next week.
Thank you.
The man of the hour, the 45th driver in the history of the championship to win. It is Robbie Kirtley, our race winner in Crandon, and Bryan Sawyer, all yours.
Hey, Robbie, how you doing?
I am shocked.
So, what did it feel like when you saw them just get into it and go wide off the track? How'd that feel?
So when I realized I had enough pace that if they crash each other, that I could definitely take the win here. And this is not the track I was ever expecting to win at ever. Like, I didn't do much practice at all, but I was able to pull through and make it to the feature and watch Kieran and Evan crash each other. So finally I was able to get another golden horseshoe today.
Yeah, we were talking about it right before it happened. We were commenting that you ran basically an identical lap time to them, and if anything happened, then it happened. And we were like, he's got to be pretty clenched up right now. Just breathe, Robbie. Breathe and run.
Yeah, I saw the distance I had, so I definitely slowed down on the last few laps, but that was only to ensure I didn't mess up.
It's okay. We're rated TV or MA17 now or something.
Got it. All right. Yeah.
We're good. Anyway,
I'd like to thank my mom and dad and sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to ask anybody you want to thank. You know the drill.
Okay. I thought that was the next question. So I want to thank my mom and dad, Slapex Racing, and Francois for the sick tune to allow me to actually keep up with Evan and Kieran, even though my lap times were probably a whole second slower. With them having an incident, I was able to pull through. So I appreciate the tune, and I appreciate you guys for the amazing broadcast. Let's go, baby. We got a dub today.
There you go. Well, congratulations on your win. Look forward to seeing you back up here, and see you next week.
Thanks, guys.
So I did not notice that this week marks there was 132 races in the Pioneer era on NASCAR Racing 2003, and tonight was the 132nd race of the modern era of NASA Rallycross. That means next week in Daytona Beach, that's actually kind of like making me tense up here. We're going to cross that we've been on iRacing on more races than NASCAR 2003. And that's, I know, Bryan, you're like, why is he on an old man tangent again? But that's wild. I say it all the time. 12 years ago, you would have called me, I'd have called you crazy if you told me that all of this would have happened. So, Endurance Cup result, Evan McFarland unofficially holds it by 2 points over Kieran Lifflander. So he does score that little championship within a championship. If we can pull up the Drivers' Championship, it is 11 points going into the penultimate round in Daytona. Evan McFarland, Kieran Lifflander. Remember, no Matthew Lindy. Robbie Kirtley won this race. Martell, Darnell, Grove, Rakowski, Morris, Wetz down in the top 10. Constructors, fairly clinched. KES Industries becomes, like I said, the 11th different team to win it in the history of the championship. And Subaru, 21 manufacturers championships out of the 30 that have been ran. So, going to do some programming notes and some sponsor plugs, and we'll close this one up tonight from Crandon. OSRL Cup Series, Round 2 at the Auto Club Speedway of Southern California. Tomorrow, May 7th, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Victor Valley, Ethan Halsey, Cody Erdman for that. OSRL GT Series, Round 9 at Road America. May 9th. That's Thursday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Bryan Sawyer, Cody Erdman, Justin Robichaud. Both crews are subject to change. We're trying to iron some stuff out in regards to that. NASA Rallycross Lights, Round 9 in Daytona on Sunday, May 12th, 9 p.m. Eastern. Victor Valley, James Watson, Jared Lott for that. And the penultimate round of the Overwatch Specialty Service, NASA Rallycross Challenge, also in Daytona, Monday, May 13th, apologies there, 8 p.m. Eastern, starting with Contenders and going to Supercars. Bryan Sawyer, Justin Robichaud, myself, Josh Mertz for that. The NASA Rallycross Challenge is brought to you by Overwatch Specialty Service. The only thing more unique than your problems, our solution. For more information, visit osscenter.com. Thank you so much to Rob Hartland for your continued support of NASA Sim Racing. Don't forget, NASA Rallycross Contenders, presented by the Virtual Gaming Alliance. Don't be a real dork, be a virtual one. Shop now at vrtl-alliance.square.site. Thank you, Dylan Thomas, as presenting sponsor of NASA Rallycross Contenders. And cameras for tonight's broadcast brought to you by Whiplash Sim Cams. Be sure to check them out at facebook.com/whiplashmedia. Thank you, Andrew Cardinale IV, for your camera support. And finally, the intro music for the NASA World feed produced by our very own Alex Abetti. If you like what you saw tonight, be sure to like and subscribe to the Automotive Sports Network on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, and ring the bell to be notified of our live streams on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday, along with our short-form video content courtesy of Jess Rakowski. And if you'd like to race in NASA, we have something for everyone. All the info at nasasimracing.com. Bryan Sawyer, give me a final thought, and we'll button this one up.
That was not what I expected at all tonight. I expected them to race hard, but I expected them to be able to maintain it. It didn't look like they were going to have an incident like that, but, you know, sometimes tires touch and cars do car things. So, real cool that Robbie won. Look
and
forward
Morris
to seeing them
earlier.
Yeah.
It's two first-time winners tonight.
Yeah, two brand new winners. That's cool.
That's I don't think that's happened in a long time. I'd have to dig. We'd be here for hours. So, two first-time winners tonight. Super cool to watch. And like I said, it doesn't matter if there's 2 cars or if there's 6 cars or if there's 12 like there are in lights in the feature. It's always an action-packed race. And like Matty Grove said, with enthusiasm, if you're interested, nasasimracing.com. The invite is open to anybody. The checkered flag has fallen on the evening. From all of us at the Automotive Sports Network, from Jess Rakowski, Victor Valley, Jared Lott, Chad Irvine, Philip Kraus, Justin Robichaud, Cody Erdman, James Watson, and Bryan Sawyer. My name is Josh Mertz, as we hope you enjoyed today's coverage of the Overwatch Specialty Service NASA Rallycross Challenge tonight from Crandon. We congratulate our Contender Series winner, Matthew Morris, and Supercars winner, Robbie Kirtley, both first-time winners. And be sure to join us tomorrow for the OSRL Cup Series in Fontana. But until then, so long, everyone.